would like to invite the light of Source to this moment, a special moment of meeting and uniting between two souls, ancient, and I would like to bless this moment with the energy of love and unity. We will learn to listen and open and be a channel, a pure and perfect channel for the light of Source. So this energy will touch people, transform them, and give them all they need in a moment of time. So I connect with you, Elija, and give blessing to this place, give blessing to you.
Okay, thank you, Whitefeather. And I'm here today with two, right now, one, a very special guest, and I'm truly honored and excited. I'm here today with Whitefeather, and Whitefeather and her husband Ori are the manager of an ecological village. Well, they live in and manage and are the inspiration and founders of an ecological village called Kfar Sagol, which, how would you translate that, Whitefeather?
Well, actually, Sagol is purple, which is our connection through the third eye and our spiritual connection. So it's Purple Village, but we call it Sagol Village, Sagol Eco Village.
Okay. And also Whitefeather was the founder and manager and inspiration of something called the Sagol Festival, which was the first spiritual large-scale festival in Israel, and she was running it and leading it and inspiring it for 11 years, and we'll get into that. And okay, so my question to you is, well, you weren't born with the name Whitefeather, were you?
No.
And
I was reborn with the name Whitefeather.
Okay, and we'll have to talk about that. And what about this amazing lifestyle of yours? By the way, I want to say that she and her family are her charming husband Ori, who you will meet soon, and her two beautiful little girls. They live in a mud home, an adobe home, like I think the Native Americans in the Southwest. They live in such a home, and well, we'll get to that as well. It's in the eco village. So I mean, this very beautiful and alternative lifestyle of yours, and you're a teacher, and all the things you teach, which we'll get into. Did you have inclinations that this would be your path when you were a child growing up?
I felt different, I could say. I felt that I have something to do, but I didn't know what. And it actually revealed to me slowly, step by step, because when the time was right, I could see one little part, and when the time was right, I could see another small part, because I think I wouldn't be able to contain it then. And I was walking a different path since I was very young. The way I was dressed, what my interests, what I was thinking about the world and about people. I knew there was something else, more than what I could see in my, children eyes. What people would teach us, what the parents and society. I knew there was something more, but I didn't know what it was.
did you grow up in like a middle-class family with brothers and sisters?
Yes.
And regular lifestyle, you know?
You can say it was a regular lifestyle, but my family was... my mother and father are born in Morocco, and they came to Israel very young, to the land of milk and honey, and they got married very young, and they have we have 5 children. You know, I'm fourth. I'm 4 girls and 1 boy, and we lived in a city, you know. So I could say it was average, and my parents, when I was 12, they were separated. So it was also a turning point for me to realize I felt that now I have to find my voice, my power within, because I felt that the surrounding that was the safe part of my life is not safe anymore, so I have to find it in me. So was also a turning point for me.
Okay. And how did you come to work? I understand you were working for like a New Age magazine.
Yes.
How did that happen? I mean, was it because you were developing an interest in the New Age spirituality, or how did that come about?
Yes, I was. I must say, because before that, when I was about 24, I traveled to England, and in England I found myself, I went to visit friends, and then somehow found myself rented an apartment, and I was alone for a couple of months. It wasn't something I was used to, you know, being with myself. And in this 2 months of being alone, I started to connect, and I changed my clothes, with what I ate, to healthy without meeting a person. Just with the introspection of finding myself there, just with all the quiet around me, starting to hear myself. And when I came back to Israel, then it was something else. I wanted to find something else, so I was working in this crystal shop. And then my friend said to me, you know, this alternative magazine looking for someone, and I'm looking for a manager of, you know, like selling ads and stuff. And I said, I never did that. I don't know how to do it. And he said, you know what, you just have to go and say, I can do it. And then I did it. And after 3 months, they asked me to be a partner in that magazine. And they were so... connected, and they were so happy with my work and my, can I say, my, I was 100%, you know.
You mean you gave 100%?
Yes, completely. So they felt that, so they offered me to be a partner, and this was actually the beginning, because in that time, it was about 1995. In 96, I met this beautiful, amazing soul woman friend called Molly, and I met her. She was all white and white hair, and she was about 60 then. And I remember just in the moment I saw her, I just came and hugged her. You know, like I felt I knew her from a long time. And she was, say, another turning point, because she said to me, you know, all over the world there is world peace meditation. And when I arrived to Israel, I was very amazed that there is none. And it was just the beginning of spirituality in Israel. There wasn't so many people in 96. So I decided to do that. And I did it with her for the first time in 1996. And there was like, I don't know, 350, something like this, people, everybody was wearing white, and I remember sitting there, and it was a very special moment for me, because in that moment I realized my destiny. And I sit in this meditation, and I look around, and I see the people, and I realized that this is what I'm supposed to do. I didn't know exactly what, but I knew I was supposed to do that.
To organize...
To bring people together, to bring... To make a difference, you know, to touch people. And I was filled with so much light in that moment. And I remember doing that meditation with all the other places in the world, and at the same time I was talking to God and saying, you know, I'm here. Just tell me what to do. You know, from now on, I'm in service. So this moment, my life changed.
Whoa.
Yes.
How did it change? You mean when you made this prayer?
Yes, yes. When I said that to the universe, the doors started to open up, and I was started to get guidance, you know, to what to do, where to go, and to get help. I felt suddenly, I guess it was all the time, but I felt it really, really strongly that I was not alone. I was guided. So I had to listen all the time. I wasn't channeling as getting information, but I had the feeling all the time that I know what to do. It was a knowledge. And that knowledge was the certain channeling, you know, that I received was in a feeling of knowing what I'm supposed to do. Completely, in every cell in my body, you know, knowing this is its next step. And even when things were unreasonable, you know, like when I started to do Sagol festival, it was a time of riots in Israel, and the roads...
You mean the Palestinian Intifada?
Yes, it was in October 2000, and I remember the roads to the festival were closed.
Yes.
So it was 4 days before, so I had to change the place in 4 days and to build everything. And I felt that it's a necessity to do it in these days, more than just to say, okay, nobody's going to come, it's a problematic time in Israel. And I said, no, I want to create an island of sanity in this craziness. And that's what I wrote on the flyers. You know, I wrote an island of sanity, because the vision that I was given was to bring rise the consciousness in Israel. In that time, there was only a few hundreds that knew about you know, spirituality or were connected. You know, maybe there was more, but we didn't know about them. And the first festival, there was 300 people. And 6 months after, when we did it again, there was 700 people. And when we did it again after 6 months, there was 1,500 people.
Whoa!
So it kept doubling, like an octave, you know? Like
wow!
Moving to the next octave, moving to the next octave, and creating a vibe and a vibration that was vibrating through all of this country, you know?
Oh, it certainly did. And everybody had heard about. I had heard about the Sagol festival, and people were excited. I remember when I heard about that. In the 90s, I heard of it, in the late 90s. Yeah. Or when? When was it?
That was just the beginning of 2000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Okay. Well, you know, and you managed 11 of these.
No, it was two a year, so it was 21 festivals.
Whoa! That's a powerful number. That's
but you know, the
initiation number.
Exactly. And I was born on the 21 of June, the summer solstice. So I was born on 21, and I finished festival on the 21th festival. So,
whoa. And
11 years was also a very powerful number for me, because it's a number, like intuitive number, a master number that is really, I see it everywhere for many years, even before I knew what it meant. So it was, yeah.
Oh, Dad taught me in Cryon, speaks about it. 11 is illumination and open channels. So.
Yeah, wow.
Well, so 21. And how big was it getting at the end?
5,000 people.
Which is really big.
Yes, in Israel it's very big, you know, like 5 million people there were in Israel.
Yes.
And,
yes. Yeah, and it was like a 2-day thing, or what?
It was 3, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was like maybe 250 workshops, working all the time, where people could choose where to go, and it was on the beach, and it was beautiful. Devoted
to spiritual opening, correct?
Yes.
It's a brotherhood and sisterhood.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes.
What an amazing thing to do.
Yes.
There
was a tribe, you know, like the Sagol tribe. You could see people and you could recognize in the street, you know, like hey, you're from Sagol, and you straight away you hug them. You know, you don't care. You know what their name, how old they are, what they do. You know that they've been in Sagol, and you just, you know, open your heart to them.
Okay.
It was beautiful.
It sounds really beautiful, and I love it. I love the fact that it was devoted to spiritual awakening, but devoted to purpose, to sacred purpose. I love that. So as I've heard about it, I never had the privilege of having gone, but okay. So you did that for 11 years. When did you meet Ori, by the way? Did you meet him?
Actually, me and Ori, we did the festival since the first festival. And I remember that when I decided to do it, I said to Ori, are we going... I'm a little bit afraid to do this festival alone, you know. I never did a festival in my life, but I feel I should do it. And he said, you know what, I'm with you. You know, whatever you choose, I'm with you. And before we had the name Sagol, because Sagol came as a channeling this name, because I didn't even know then that Sagol, I didn't even think about it, that Sagol was the spiritual color. And also, mysterious enough, my name was Lila back then, which is lilac, which is Sagol, which is purple.
Okay.
So it was very, very perfect for our universe to create such a story.
Amazing, amazing. As is the day of your birth and the connection. I want to point out that Ori is an amazing musician. So we'll be hearing a little of his music, and also your music, which is what these bowls are about. Okay, so you got married when? Like, Sagol had already started. So you did the first Sagol together, and...
we got married 2 years after.
Okay.
So he knew that he was getting married to someone crazy. He can't say he didn't know. So yeah, we got married 2 years after, and then we moved to the south.
To the Negev.
Yes, south of Israel, which was a crazy thing to do. You know, like when you were like me, I was born in Jaffa. I'm like a Tel Aviv person, and moving to the south was wow, you know, a big step.
South is desert. It's the Negev desert.
Yes, we don't have always desert like in the winter. It's very green. But yeah, half of the year we are in desert, but it's beautiful and so much quiet. And I know now why we moved there, because we needed the time to have less distractions from the outside to do the work that we are meant to do.
Well, prophets are often called to the desert, and okay, why Sagol? Why? You say it was channeled, and what was the explanation given to you? Why to call the festival Sagol, and why the village?
Yes, so you know, I knew all these years that Sagol was a spiritual color and connecting to the spirituality through the third eye and
violet, purple.
Yes, but a year ago I got another information by Saint Germain.
Yes.
Which is a master of the violet flame.
Did I get the picture of Saint Germain? It's that little one with the purple? Yes, so he's the master of the violet flame.
Yes, so I was told by Saint Germain that it was the violet flame that was needed to arrive here to Israel at this time.
Give it to Whitefeather. Yeah. Okay. Oh, wow. Show it to the camera, maybe.
So, this is Saint Germain.
Okay.
He's in charge of the violet flame.
Okay.
And
he had many great incarnations.
Yeah. As
Joseph, the father of Jesus, and Merlin of Arthur, and many important. Saint Germain is a historical figure. He was called the Miracle Man of Europe. And if you Google Saint Germain, he lived a long, long time without growing old. And he was an advisor to kings. Nobody understood how he could stay young for so long. You could Google Saint Germain. There's a lot to read. So yes, what you were saying.
And I was told by Saint Germain that this energy of the violet flame was important these years to Israel. And if you know that in Hebrew, Am Sgula, it's from the word Sagol.
Yes.
It's the meaning of Am is a nation.
A separate nation, yes?
A nation of a certain energy, certain vibration.
Okay.
And that Segula is something that is in every one of us. Okay, I don't see it as only for here, but it was my path to bring this energy to Israel in these days, and to awaken the special souls that are here.
It's usually translated, isn't it, as separate or chosen?
They call it chosen, but for me it's different.
And for me.
Yes, it's different than chosen. It's more for me, I see things in vibration-wise, and since I'm working with vibrations and sound. So when I see things as a vibration-wise, then there's no good or bad.
Absolutely. And
you know?
Every people is chosen.
Exactly.
We all have our different things to do in this world.
Exactly.
Yes.
So this was the vibration that was needed here, to have Am Sgula bathe in Sagol violet flame.
Yes.
So there was 30,000, 40,000 people that went through Sagol in these 11 years.
Yes.
And they touch, and they vibrate to the people they know. So it was like a big pond of violet flame,
You bet.
Years. Yes. And that I got this information only a year ago, when I started to work with the crystal balls and sound, and only then I was given this information, because I was told that the 11 years was my initiation to do what I'm doing now.
Which is what?
Well, I'm creating a very beautiful place that you visit, and Sagol Eco Village is like a retreat center, sound healing retreat center.
Sagol Eco Village, yes.
Yes, it's a sound healing retreat center, and it's a place to connect to the frequency, personal frequency. But this personal frequency, of course, is connected to oneness, and it's for people to remember the connection to the earth, because when we want only to connect to the spiritual, we can't contain the light that is coming. And when we are connected to the earth, then we get the roots, and we can be just like a tree, that can contain more and more light. As we're connected to the earth, we can contain more and more light.
I suppose that's why you were guided to build a mud house. You built it yourself?
So I built half of it myself. I must say that it was a very special story, because when we moved to our place there, we were very busy with the festival, and we didn't have time to look behind our house, and it was full of grass, and it was very neglected, because people who lived there before didn't use it. So we didn't have time. We were busy with the festival. But after 7 years, when they say it's the initiation to the earth, when you live on it for 7 years, and after 7 years, I met a friend of mine, a dreaming bear, that came to give workshop in Sagol festival, and he created an initiation to the earth, building the first teepee, Indian tent, Native American tent on it, and we made a special initiation. And like you drum, all the ceremony we were drumming, it was about 4 hours. And the moment we stopped drumming, we look at the top, we look at the sky, and there was birds in the shape of a teepee. And it was like, I said to Ori, and I said, Ori, there's something special going to happen here, but I don't know what, but something special is going to happen here. And after a few months, this couple, nice hippie couple, came and said, look, we heard about that you have a place behind your house. And I said, we don't really have, we have just a teepee. And they said, but can we live there? And we want to be alone, and we said, you can live there for free as much as you want. And after a few months, they said, can we build a mud house? And we said, of course. We were busy with the festival.
Wow,
and they built the mud house, and they built the first organic garden there. and they connected the teepee to their mud house. So it was a little house, and it was after a few years that they left this place for us. And if you connected to after 11 years of creating the festival, this was a turning point for me, and moving to this mud house alone at the beginning. But after, when the family came, we made it bigger and we built the rest of it.
Okay. And you built it, I mean, you all built it yourselves.
Yes.
I mean, you added on to it.
I added.
Okay, now, as I recall, Whitefeather, you had a period where you had to go into, I mean, it was already, Sagol was going well, and there was a certain period where you received guidance to go into isolation, meditation for a period of time. Isn't that correct?
Almost.
Okay.
Yes, because there was this time that after 11 years, that starting from spiritual path and growing so big into a very big business, changed my path in a way, but it was all, of course, was meant to be. And I arrived to a point of, you could say, I suffered enough. You know? And at that point, I decided that I wanted to make a change. So I walked down, you know, our space in the back of our house, and I prayed to God, and I say, you know, I know that there's something bigger, and I feel pain, a big pain in my heart, that I can't stand this pain anymore. It's too big for me. I can't stand it so much that I know that I can't live anymore with this pain. And I ask you to help me. And so I was guided to go and be alone, and I was looking for a place, but then I
Hold
thought...
on. The pain was knowing that there was something else you're supposed to do, but not knowing what. Is that?
Not knowing at all.
Okay.
Very big pain, you know, like a gap in my heart, you know.
Okay.
And I went to the madhouse behind my house saying, okay, you know, it's like the alchemist, you don't need to go so far. I have a little madhouse here, and I asked Ori if you could be with the 2 children and give me time. And I thought I would go for a week, you know, or something like this. And I went, I took some clothes, some food, and I thought it would be a notebook, of course, because I love writing. And I went there, and after a week, it became 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and after it became 3 months actually, eventually. And
3 months, wow.
In 3 weeks I was completely, you know, and I was getting guidance, very powerful guidance, because I was told all the time to release my thoughts and my beliefs and my attachments and the festival and my image of who I think I am, my story of my life. And after I was guided to release what people think, what people think I am, who they think I am, which was even harder. And I was also told to release my family, Ori and girls. I was taught actually to release everything. It wasn't just something to choose, you know. It was like you go in for the whole thing, you know. And I was crying and not knowing if I will receive them back or whatever. But I felt that I was saying to God, you know, I'm here completely, and whatever is needed. Again, you know, another turning point in my life. So I let go of everything, and it became like you know, like a feeling of dying, but many deaths, you know, dying everything that I released, I was dying again and again and again, and it was painful. It wasn't like a bliss that I could think, you know, in my imagination how it could be, this feeling. But after releasing all this and being in a moment of emptiness and feeling I have no identity, and so this was blissful time, you know, about 2 months, that I couldn't tell anyone about it because there was no one that can tell. There's no ego, so
Whoa.
You cannot tell to anyone. You can just be. So total beingness. So in that time it was a blissful time, and I could see through people. It was very powerful.
What do you mean you could see through people?
So if I would meet a person that would come through, I could not speak a normal conversation of communication. I would just sit, and I could see their soul path and their pain. I could see their pain, where they could pass to the next step, and it's the only thing I could tell them, nothing more. And I would speak to people, and they would start to cry, and I had to go. I couldn't continue to speak because I told what I had to say.
Can you still do that?
I have to choose, and I have to get permission. Then it wasn't like that. It was all the time like that. It was very, very hard because I could see everything, so I couldn't be around people.
Oh.
You know, all the time to see, it was too much. I asked, to balance it back. And actually at that time Ori went on his journey because we didn't want our ways to separate, and he knew that he needed to go on his journey also, and he went to his journey, and maybe he can tell about it. And at that time it was it was a time of getting a lot of help, a lot of from the universe, a lot of compassion, and he came back with a crystal ball, and I saw the crystal balls before, but I never really connected to them.
A ball, crystal ball.
Yes, just like this crystal ball, and. When he came with that crystal ball and he put it on the shelf, and he didn't have time to play with it because it was meant for me, and it was calling me, and that crystal ball was calling me, and one day I just pick it up and I start to play, and I didn't stop, I was playing day, noon, night for 8 months, and actually I didn't know what is happening because I was actually being balanced by the ball. And being brought back to being able to teach what I went through and what I saw, and to be able to communicate. And these crystal balls, actually, they are a communication vehicle, in many, many ways, because you use them for every computer because they're from crystal quartz. But really, I believe their real destiny is the communication of us, helping us to communicate with our soul, with our deepest call. So for me, it was balancing me back to coming back here and to teach. And after 8 months, I used my voice with the crystal ball. I sang before, but I never thought to sing with a ball. It took me a long time. And when I started to sing with the ball, something really special happened. My voice and the ball became one sound. It was like a hologram, a hologram. It was like the one sound. And I wasn't there, and the ball wasn't there. It was something that was beyond. And then I realized there's something that I must jump into. So straight away I understood this is my path, my new path. It took me some time to come back and realize that, and then I went and I got a whole set of Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Si, Wa in English ABC, and I got the balls and I started to work with them, and after a couple of years I received channeling of how to work with them, because I was looking a long time everywhere how to work with the balls, and then my guides just told me, just go inside and you will get the answers. And the answers came. And I got this method we call WCH, White Crystal Healing. It is working on awakening our DNA through the crystal core of the earth and the crystalline body, and also
the crystalline body within our physical body.
Yes, also the physical body and also the crystalline body that is around us.
And inside of us.
Yes, because our bones, physical bones, and our pineal gland and our DNA,
and our blood as well.
Our blood, is crystalline by nature. So we are resonating the crystals.
And all the water in our body is crystalline in nature.
So we are crystals.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
And great teachers like Barbara Han Clow, but many others also, the group with Steve Rother, they talk about how our body is changing from carbon-based to silica-based, silica being a higher form of crystal.
And this is the information that I received. And this was all new to me, like I was just feeling that it's healing me, but I didn't know exactly what it's doing. So now that I know, that I can teach people, also I teach people to use WCH to other people and play with the crystal balls on the body. We use water, we use mantras. It's very powerful.
Well, soon you'll be demonstrating that. By the way, about the crystals in our body, this is actually hard science. Steve Rother and the group, on their website, they've shown crystals that have started appearing in the human brain. Well, you can see photos of crystals that have been found in bodies. So anyway, the pineal gland. Okay, about your name, Whitefeather. Did it come to you during this time of isolation?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Of course. And in that time when when there was that moment that I felt I have no identity, it was when someone called my name, and I felt it wasn't my name anymore. And I thought, okay, if it's not my name anymore, it's not me anymore, and my thoughts are not the thoughts that I knew before, then who am I? And of course I was connected to something that was beyond, and that's why I received the name Whitefeather from my guides, but at the beginning I didn't want to receive it. There was two reasons for that. One is because I didn't want to identify again, and I wanted to stay in that space. And the second was because I felt, in Israel, using that name would be very difficult to walk around with Whitefeather. Also in English,
it's not Hebrew.
It's not Hebrew, and also it's shaman name. So it was difficult, and I said to my guides, if it's possible to find me a different name, please. And the answer was no, this is your name, And I got really amazing signs that I could tell you that you won't believe.
Well, tell us, yeah.
And in that time I was walking about 2 weeks without a name, and it was a very strange feeling. And thinking in my mind again, Whitefeather, and feeling it, and maybe I made it into Hebrew, and it didn't sound good, and I thought, oh my God, And then I got a phone call from our friend Dreaming Bear, which he changed his name now to Baraka Canaan. He's half Palestinian, half Indian, and he's an amazing person. He lives in Hawaii, and a spiritual teacher. And he came to see us after he didn't see us for a few years, and just said to us, "I'm coming in 2 days," and we were really excited. And I said, "Wow, Dreamer coming now. This must be something about this meeting." And when he came. That day, my friend, the only friend that I shared a name with, we went to see her, and that day she said to me, you are really Whitefeather. And that moment when she said it, I really felt it in every cell of my body that I'm accepting it. And I turned to Dreaming Bear and I said, "Dreaming Bear." He said, "What?" I said, "I have a new name." And he said, "What is it?" I said, "It's Whitefeather." And he looked at me and said, "I'm shivering, wow." And I said, what? And he said, "My grandmother, she was the one who grew me up, and she was the one who told me everything about the Native Americans, and her name was Whitefeather.
Huh.
And I realized he came for that, to tell me it's my name. And
Whoa.
yes, and since then, you know, I get so many signs, and it's like telling me. When I got Saint Germain the message about the violet flame, he also told me that now my journey after this initiation is working with the white and crystal flame, and
Okay.
and it was and I asked, can you tell me that I'm not imagining? And he says, you know, when you were working with the violet flame, your name was Lilac, and now you're working with the white flame, your name is White. And I was told that after I accepted the name, and after I realized and started to remember my shamanic journeys, and that I didn't know I was a shaman.
You mean your other lifetimes?
Yes.
As a shaman?
Yes, remembering I was a shaman, and a shaman speaker for other shamans.
Oh, wow.
And
So, Whitefeather, it's like a Native American name. Maybe it could be a Siberian shaman name as well. I don't know. Do you know? I mean, you say you do. Were you Native American? Do you know what tribes you were connected with?
no,
Were you a Siberian shaman?
I don't think so. But
Okay.
I know that I've been a few times shaman, not only once. And whenever I go into shaman ceremony that I conduct, then these memories are coming to me. I feel it, you know, that I did it so many times before. And I just remember, you know, like my friend Tomer Fine is a shaman, Israeli, beautiful soul. And he taught me to do the sweat lodge, which is a
Yes.
shaman ceremony. And I knew I was supposed to do the sweat lodge, but I knew it was not exactly a sweat lodge. And the most amazing thing that happened, that I was given information to do the sweat lodge in water pool.
Whoa.
And it was the name was given to it was Wish Dome. The Wish Dome is working with the new energy, working in water, people sitting in water. The stones are above the water, and we're doing the ceremony with all the south, east, west, north. We're doing all the ceremony, but instead of using a Native American drum, I use a crystal ball. And instead of singing the Native American songs, we use the sacred vowels, working with our sacred vowels, sometimes Hebrew mantras. And we call it the Wish Dome because you wish inside, and it's a dome, of course, that's built above the pool. And also, 2 weeks before I did the first Wish Dome, I met a white, beautiful owl.
Whoa!
Yes.
Whoa.
Actually, they were a couple, like me and Ori. We were very connected. And these two white owls, we met them 4 kilometers from our home. And after 2 weeks, when we did the Wish Dome, the first day that we did the Wish Dome, they came to visit us.
Oh my goodness!
Yes.
You know, an owl is a tremendous power.
And it's a wisdom. Wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Yes.
And he could see in the dark, he could catch his food in the total darkness without making a sound. Mm-hmm. Owl represents many things.
Mm-hmm. It represents the north, and where the soul is leaving the body.
Yes, it's connected with change and death, but it could be a death of the old self.
Exactly. And the color is white.
And the color is white. So, amazing. And, okay. And
so many beautiful threads. You know what I say to a friend of mine? I say, I am not controlling like I used to when I did Sagol Festival. I had to control all the time what is happening and what I want to do, because I was running a business and I was very young. And now, creating things without an effort is really letting the universe be the guide. And when you let the universe be the guide, the story is much more creative than what we can ever think of.
I bet it is. I can't say that I know that so well. But Dudan, over there, we have a picture of Serapis Bay under the clock. Let's bring that over. So you were, would you say you were a carrier or a master of the master teacher of the violet flame?
I can say I was a carrier. I was a channel.
Okay.
Yes.
And now you're connected.
So, yes, I'm connected to the white flame with Serapis Bay.
Okay, show the picture again.
I can say.
We're gonna have to show it real close later.
Yeah. And it's more and beyond because for me all these beautiful masters and angels that I
don't put one on the other. No,
that
they're equals, I guess.
They're equals. Okay. So I put them both next to each other, and you can edit it. I really appreciate their energy and the work that they're doing in other realms that we cannot even grasp.
Yes. These great ascended masters who, okay, so do you hear them? Do you see them? You said you met Saint Germain.
I heard Saint Germain.
You heard him?
Yes.
Okay, do you still hear him?
Only if I ask.
Okay. And what about Serapis Bay?
I get the channeling through knowledge, and all my channeling is through voice. So, for example, instead of saying what I understand and what they're telling me, I can sing. And the energy and the vibrations are coming through my voice.
Okay.
And healing and giving the information to people. And actually it's crossing the mind from thinking what actually saying and who is saying it and why and whatever the mind is coming into the picture. And with working with the channeling through singing and through resonating this light that is coming through, I feel that I can be more of a clear channel.
Okay. So have you met Serapis Bay or heard his voice, or has he spoken to you in words?
Not in words, in emotions.
In emotions.
Yes. Talking about water, and water is something very powerful also in the healing method we're working with, because we all know that water has a memory. And we're learning now much, much more about water, and how it can heal through the resonance, through the intention that we put in the water, through the sound that we put in the water. And actually, I put water in the crystal ball.
Which we will hear very soon.
Yes, because I wanted to show how sound is affecting matter, that you can see it in, physical, the physical eye. So it's really amazing.
Well, here we get into the subject of the science of cymatics. Mm-hmm. And one of my favorite teachers, Greg Braden, has very interesting demonstration of how sound affects. It's like a type of dust that you put it on a plate and then you expose it to a rising frequency of sound. And it takes more beautiful. As the sound rises, it will organize the spore or the dust on the plate, and it will form more beautiful and intricate geometric forms. And you can see it on the internet if you Google cymatics. But we're going to see a little bit.
Yes.
Very soon. I'm just trying to think if there's anything. No, I think maybe we could go into.
Yes, I can say something very special about that. About in 1960, Dr. Hans Henny, he started to do these experiments with
How do you spell that name?
Hans Henny. It's
Hans, H-A-N-S.
Yes, Henny is with J.
Okay. Like
Hans Henny, but with J.
With a J. Okay.
So if you can they can Google it. And,
Yes.
You can see that plate and how he uses it. It's
Yes.
actually pictures from the 60s.
Yes,
It's
that's
amazing,
right.
Yeah.
Greg Braden gives that name, I think.
Exactly, and
Yes.
he created also something called a tonoscope. And you make a tone and receive the shape in the other side.
Yes.
So he tried to use languages also, and some say that he used the Hebrew language, and instead of getting shapes, he would get the letters themselves.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yes.
Some say. Now, have you read that?
I read that.
Okay.
Yes, in many places. But when I got the Semitic book, the original book of Dr. Hans Heny,
Yes.
I couldn't find it in the book. So that's why I say some say, because I didn't find it in the original books.
Okay, now I interviewed an amazing young man, I mean young compared to me. He's a healer. His name is Yadin Kaplansky. He works in Tel Aviv. And he had a lot of great teachers. He studied with the famous Barbara Brennan, who has a school of healing.
Oh, she's amazing.
She's amazing, and she wrote a very famous book called Healing Hands, which is like a Bible for healers.
Completely.
Anyway, he studied in her school and with her for, 3 years. And she told him that when she gets to the very highest levels of healing with a client, all of a sudden these strange letters appear, sort of floating in the air, I guess. And she didn't know what the letters were, but she had an idea. And she wrote the letters down for my friend, my Israeli friend, Yadim Kaplansky. And she asked him if he knows these letters. And he said, well, of course I do. This is Hebrew. This is the Hebrew Aleph Bet. And then she pointed to 2 letters in particular that she said were especially prominent or powerful. And they were the letters Yud and Hey, which are the letters in the sacred name of God, the Tetragrammaton, the Yud Hey Vav, Hey. So that's another little story about the Hebrew letters. So, okay, so maybe give us a little demonstration of what can be done.
Okay, I will show you the water, and then I could give you some energy that is coming through, resonating with my voice. But first, I want to show you with the water. So when we're using our voice, we're putting the kavanah, the intention into it. When we have the intention, we can create healing. And it's one of my teachers, Jonathan Goldman, that he would teach me this, but I can say something about it in the Native American way of connecting to nature. Because if you take a paper and the sun, it is potentially can create fire, but you need the glass, magnifying glass. So for us, the magnifying glass would be the intention. So when we put the intention, we have the magnifying glass to create the fire, to create the healing. So that's what we do when we use the voice. So what we're going to do here, we're taking the water, put the water inside the crystal ball. We're going to resonate the water inside the crystal ball. And I'm going to give a prayer. One of the mantras that I would like to use would be Eye, Asher Eye. And I see you have it in your home, many places. It's been said that it's the first thing that God said to Moses when he met him, when Moses asked, "Who are you?" He said, "Eye, Asher Eye."
Which means, I guess in English, it's not I am that I am. It's I will be what I will be.
Well, they translated it to I am that I am. That's how it's been translated. But it means that in of course, the Creator of all, and also in every one of us. In every one of us, the place of acknowledging who we are and being in that space.
Being part of that universal becoming.
Exactly.
It's really a name He's saying, I am the universal becoming, in a way.
Exactly. So I'm becoming a co-creator with the universe. And this is exactly what is happening in the energy that is coming to the earth these days.
Yes.
Through the galactic center, through the heart of the galaxy, the new energy that is coming through, all the changes that is happening in the planets.
Or maybe you just want to mention a word about that, since you mentioned it.
You know, like we were waiting for the 21st of December for many years.
The end of the Mayan calendar.
The end of the Mayan calendar.
And the beginning of the new time.
Exactly. And now is the beginning of the new time. What exactly happens is that there is a few things that are happening together, which is what makes it really amazing. One of the things that is happening, we all know, is the ending of the 26,000 cycle around Alcini, which is in the Pleiades constellation.
Well, people don't know, but most people don't know about that.
Okay. So we are sitting in the Milky Way galaxy. We were sitting in one of the arms called the Orion arm. And also there is a constellation called the Pleiadian constellation, which is actually in charge of the energy of the moon, energy of the female energy that is coming to the earth now. So we finished the cycle, the revolution of 26,000 cycle around Alcini.
Which is like the central star of the Pleiades.
Yes, and they call that the end of an age. Now we're going into the age of Aquarius.
Indeed.
Yeah. And also, Alcini and our constellation that we are living in, the Sun system.
The solar system.
Yes, is also with the Pleiadians and Alcini finished another revolution that is taking 225 million years to finish. And that also finished in the 21. That was an alignment of all the stars with the heart of the galactic heart, which is sending the energy of healing to the earth, which I can say that a beautiful teacher that's teaching is called Simone Matthew, which is Australian, is an amazing teacher. She's calling that the wave of love. So we can use the wave of love consciously to heal and to be a co-creator of this new world, this new humanity that is coming.
We received the wave of love when the alignment happened.
So we're still receiving it because
we're
we went, because there around everything that is alive, there is the Taurus field, the energetic Taurus field, so that give it life. So the Taurus field around the galactic heart, which is the center of the galactic Milky Way.
Yes.
And the Taurus of Alcini is actually meeting, they're going inside each other. So this turn is calling 2,000 years of light and 11,000 years of darkness. And again, 2,000 years of light and 11,000 years. So now we are in the 2,000 years of light because we went into the Taurus field, which is called the photon belt also. And we are now in that, and also our solar system is going into this, into the Alcini in a Pleiadian Taurus.
My understanding is it's already happened.
It's already
Barbara Han-Clow, in her amazing book, The Pleiadian Agenda, gives diagrams of exactly what you described, including the 2,000-year field of light which we've entered into after going through the galactic night, which was the 11,000 periods, or 11,000-year period out of the 2,000 year of light.
So now we are in 2,000 years of light.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Also, Cryon talks about this, and Cryon he talks about how the Pleiadians are actually our parents, our genetic parents who purposely seeded this world.
Yes. The ancestors knew that.
They are the ancestors, the Pleiadians, among others.
Yes.
Okay.
So we can connect to this energy consciously.
Let's do that. Let's connect with our Pleiadian brothers and sisters.
Okay. We will connect to the heart of the earth. We'll connect to our heart. We'll connect to the heart of the Milky Way center, core of our galaxy. So we will take a deep breath.
And our Pleiadian ancestors, ourselves, we are them.
So we will connect to the breath, and through the breath we can connect to the heartbeat, our heartbeat. And through our heartbeat, slowly, inhaling the white and golden light that is coming from above into our body, into every cell of our heart, into every center, into every chakra. As we move down through the chakras, from our heart, from the main center, main course of the Milky Way heart, consciously sending that energy of light and love to connect with our heart, and to connect with the earth heart, the core of the earth, the crystalline core of the earth. And now as we're connected to the one heart, we'd like to thank all the teachers and guides and masters that are on our way, all the people that we meet and read and learn from. I would like to thank the archangels and the water and fire, the earth and air. Giving gratitude to the Creator of all, the light that is in every one of us, the source of light. It is in everything. Thank you.
Whitefeather. I would like you to teach us your other two mantras.
Okay. Let me think which one we have. We have Kadosh Kadosh.
Hodaya.
Just Hodaya. There was just one word, Hodaya.
Okay, well, whatever you work with.
Hodaya is actually, in Hebrew, is giving thanks. And Hodaya is one of the words that are more powerful in resonance. So you can use that in connecting to that energy. Space that we are creating through this frequency, that is a space of healing, the space that cannot have any negative energy. So it's very good also before giving healing or before cleansing an area, or you want to clean your home, really connecting to that energy. We'll use this bow again.
It also says in the keys, almost a quote, a paraphrase, that this mantra connects the biorhythms of the physical body with the rhythms of the spirit over self body. It connects them and makes them become one. So,
yeah, exactly.
United.
United. Before we're using this mantra, we're connecting, give blessing, put our intention, and in a sacred way, using every word. Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Tzevaot, Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Tzevaot, Kadosh, 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 Adonai, Tzevaot, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh,
Ooh. Now, I do remember you have one more.
Yes.
Ani hineni ani.
Ani hineni ani nachon. Which is actually like I am that I am, that when translated again into Hebrew, so it has this transformation of Eyesh Ayeh, that been transformed to I am that I am, but was translated again to Ani Hineni, which they say that is the new energy of our being in a state of oneness. Using the sounds actually resonating our spiritual path, or spiritual connections and portals through the next octaves, and we can use the sounds to connect to the next octaves and to resonate them, to awaken them in our memory.
Whoa. And you say that information is communicated through your singing and through your playing. Information about the white ray, the crystal ray.
Whatever is needed. Sometimes the person it's a tool. The white ray could be a tool to bring the information. The information is very specific to every person.
Yes.
Or it could be for the whole humanity when we do something that is big.
Yes.
And we're teaching this actually in Europe, if like in the summer, and if people connect to it, then you don't have to come all the way to Israel. Although we really want them to come all the way to Israel.
Yes, we do. We're gonna before I get your email and how to contact you and Ori and the Sagol Echo Village, and find out maybe what that is more. What is the difference between the crystal ray and the white ray? Or, I mean, is there a difference?
For me, working with these energies, I don't feel the difference. It's connecting now. It's just the time that it's connecting and becoming into one.
Okay.
And becoming into crystal, becoming the white ray into crystal ray. It's the transformation that is happening.
Okay.
And also, talking about that transformation, we can use our voice. Learning how to use our voice, because really, our body is a tool. It's like any other instrument. It's just that people don't want to tune it. They want it to be tuned straight away. But using our voice and putting the intention, just let your voice, open your voice.
Yes.
And really just use your voice. Even don't think you have to be a big singer. Just using the voice like babies do when they're just born. You do it naturally. Going back to sleep, putting yourself to sleep. When you're not feeling well, use your voice. It's a gift that you were born with. Just learn how to use it. You can just play with it. Let yourself be out of tune so you can learn to be in tune.
Yes, exactly. And we all have if we allow ourselves to do spontaneous singing like the Native Americans do.
Exactly.
To express the moment, to express the beauty of the scene that we happen to be seeing maybe, it will open up worlds for us. This is one of the teachings of Gene White Eagle, my amazing teacher and friend, and John Parison. So, how can people contact you and Ori? And soon we're going to meet Ori on film. How do people contact you?
Well, we have now 2 websites, one for the village and one for us. Soon it's going to be just one. But now at the moment it's Sagol, SAGOL .org.
Okay.
And this is the place, the Sagol Eco Village. And we have our website also, which is whitecrystalballs.com. But now, as us transforming also all the time, we are creating one website because we are teaching most of the time in the Sagol Eco Village. So we're just making one website with a lot of information that is actually being built at the moment. It will be in sagol.org, which is, will be the main website to receive all the information.
Okay, very good.